What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the weekly Two Wheel Nation live stream. We're going to talk about Supercross tonight. I'm pretty excited. Supercross is going to start in about a month, so I'm pretty stoked. Well, you guys know how this starts. We start out every episode with a two-stroke video just to set the mood. So let's go ahead and get it started. Yeah. Now that everybody's in a good mood, we can talk about a little bit of news. So, Supercross tickets are actually being sold, limited capacity. I'm gonna obviously because of COVID. They've got to restrict attendance, and they've got lots of new rules, so it is what it is. But I imagine a lot of these stadiums can hold about 50,000 people. They're probably going to be somewhere around 10%, so maybe 5,000 people get into the stadium. So they're selling tickets. Tickets are on sale now. They might have some deals out there. You just got to run out there and check. But that's pretty exciting. The schedule's weird. If you remember last year, things started out normal. COVID hit. Everything shut down. Then when they resumed racing, they struck their drug deal with Utah, and they did all the races in one stadium, finished out the season. But they did 2 races a week. So it's kind of similar to that, except it's going to be Saturday and Wednesdays, I believe. It's strange. They're going to go to a city. They're going to start off in Houston, and they're going to race Saturday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm not sure. One day during the week, I think it's Tuesday, and then they'll race again Saturday and then move on to the next city. Now, some of the positives of that is the guys that set up the rigs, drive the trucks, they get to stay in one place for 3 races. That's kind of nice. I can't imagine how much work it takes to pack that rig up, drive to wherever they got to drive, unpack the rig up. It's basically a mobile shop. Bikes, engines, tools. I mean, everything that they probably have at the main shop that doesn't move, they probably got in that truck. Pretty crazy. All right, moving on. Dylan Ferrandis won the 250 Supercross Championship last 2 years. Was going to move up to the 450s this year. About a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks now. He had a pretty gnarly crash, and we're gonna play that footage for you here right now. So let's go ahead and roll the footage. This looks pretty gnarly. I hate watching people crash, but I was really looking forward to him moving up to the 450. Yeah, that's enough of that. So clearly pretty gnarly crash. You can hear the panic rev. Da, 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 da. He knew as soon as he took off, it was not going to end well. I think the story is he broke his hand. Again, really disappointed. I wanted to see how he was going to ride the 450. It's always a big, tall order for a rookie to come in and win the Supercross championship. A rookie 450 rider, right? He's got 250 Supercross championships under his belt now, I think, and won the outdoor championship this year. So good on him. Good on him. Now, let's start talking about predictions, man. I'm going to start with the 2020 champion, Eli Tomac. He will be the defending champion in the 2021 series. And I don't know. It's going to be an uphill battle. He's got a lot of competition. He finally got that monkey off his back, though. If you've been around my channel, you know I'm an Eli Tomac fan. And I think, personally, he's been the fastest dude for the last 3 years. 2017, 18, and 19, and 2020, so 4 years. I think he's been the fastest guy, but he's failed to put a consistent series together until this year. Some people might argue it was COVID. I don't think so. This is his career stats. This is Supercross and motocross. I've highlighted with the red rectangles his Supercross finishes, and in particular, one of the ones that stands out to me is 2018. This is typical Tomac up until this year. Brilliant race wins. At times, he makes everybody look like a rookie. Crazy speed. But then his lows are just super low. So if we look at 2018, he starts off the season with a 22nd finish and then a did not start. I mean, essentially, the first 2 rounds, he collects no points. You can't win a championship when you start out like that. He follows it up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 wins, 4 podiums. But again, a 13th, a 22nd. I mean, he goes from winning the race to 13th the next week. He finally got everything figured out, but let's take a look at some footage from 2018, because this was one of the weirdest things I have ever seen. I've been watching Supercross for a long time. So let's check out. This is round 1 where he got 22nd place.
Got it handled. Oh.
Looks like a simple little mistake.
That's mental.
I agree, Jeff Emming. That's totally mental. Totally mental. But now look, his pants come undone. His zipper's all the way down. I've never seen anything like this before. I've never seen this kind of wardrobe malfunction.
I haven't seen anything like that.
Yeah, me neither. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks for following me up on that. But that's now that one was extreme. That was one of the weirdest things I've ever seen happen to anybody, let alone Eli Tomac. But it happened. And the sad thing is he got the DNS at the next round because in that crash, he actually bruised his shoulder really bad. Went to the next race, practiced, tried to qualify, but it just wasn't happening. He just wasn't feeling it. So back to his career, though. We look at 2020, this year. Started off kind of rocky again. I think he was nervous. He probably had 2018 in the back of his head. But at any rate, starts to pull it together, gets a 4th, and then goes on a roll. 1st, 2nd, 1st, another 4th, 1st, 4th. Racks up the wins. He gets 8 wins. I think the next closest rider this season was, Ken Roczen and I think Cooper Webb both had 4 wins. So he had a combined win ratio of Cooper Webb and Ken Roczen. So that's what you got to do, though, right? You gotta limit those really bad nights, which he just did not do a good job of that in the previous years, and so he finally gets a good consistent year. So I think he's going to be hard to beat. I think whatever was holding him back in the previous years was a mental problem. They've had some rare issues with bike issues. He had a brake issue, I think, in 2019, 2018, one of those years. But he's going to be tough to beat. I think he's over the mental. He's going to be more mentally strong. At least I would like to think so. So I mean, he's got to be one of the favorites going into 2021. At least I think everybody's expecting it. But let's talk about who I think the next big guy we all expect to be there, and that is Cooper Webb. Cooper Webb he's got racecraft. He's got racecraft unlike a lot of other riders out there. He's just super smart. He does a poor job at qualifying during the day, but once the main event comes, he finds a way to nail the start, get up front, and again, man, he is crafty. Take a look at this. This was, I think this was 2018 again, and he's following Ken Roczen. Maybe it was 2019. I think it was 2019. He's following Ken Roczen. And Ken Roczen from some crazy injuries. But let's take a look at this footage. All right, there's no sound, but we're coming up to the whoops here. They're in the whoops. Check out how this is the next to the last lap. But check out how Cooper Webb kind of angles his bike to the inside. He's already got a much sharper turn angle than Ken Roczen. Ken's clearly going all the way to the outside of the berm, or near the outside of the berm. But I think this is the next to the last lap, right? They're going to do this 180 berm to hit the finish line jump. White flag's going to come out, and then we'll see what Cooper Webb does here in the next lap, the last turn before the finish line jump. But I think he's thinking about it. He's already got a plan. This is the previous lap. He's got a plan. He's setting up. He's just kind of getting a feel for how he's going to make the pass. So let's continue on. All right, so there's the finish line jump. And here's the next lap. Same whoop section. And here goes Cooper to the inside. Rides him high. Rides him hard. There's some contact there. But he gets the nod by, I don't know, an inch or something. It was a pretty crazy win. But that racecraft, like, he's got a plan. He's thinking about it. He's setting it up. He kind of, the previous lap, he's just kind of feeling it out. And jumps to the inside just to see what it's like and see if he thinks he can get him. And, when I saw that race in real time and I saw that pass, I really thought it was pretty dirty. But after watching the replay, I kind of changed my decision on that. Now, obviously, it was tight. There was contact. But he could have ran right into to Roczen, took his wheels out, put him on the ground, but he didn't. I think a lot of people don't like Webb. I'm not the biggest Webb fan. But I'm quite impressed. Now, this year, he suffered a pretty gnarly crash and an injury. So let's check that out. Okay, here we go. Watch this. Off the dragon back, endos, flies through the air. Oh! He lands on his back. So again, for you guys out there that don't know, Supercross is it's built inside stadiums. They put down plywood. They bring in a bunch of dirt, and they build the track on top of the plywood. And for him to land flat on his back, pretty high up in the air, that couldn't have been good, man. But this guy is a beast. Let's keep watching this. All right. So check it out. That is not soap bubbles on top of the water. Those are ice cubes. He's clearly, this is after the race. His back's got to be just tight and sore and bruised, and so he's doing an ice bath thing here. But if for those of you that didn't watch the rest of the series, he came back. I think the very next race, or maybe one more race after that, he didn't really miss any time off the bike, and he raced throughout the rest of the series, battling for the championship. The guy's a beast. He's really, really smart. He qualifies poorly most of the time, but it just never seems to matter. Once the main event comes and the gate drops, he's up front. He just always finds a way to get up front. It's an uncanny, very valuable ability and attribute that he has. So I definitely expect Eli Tomac and Cooper Webb to be fighting up front early. All right, who be next? Who do I think is next? This one's a tough one for me, but it's hard to ignore Ken Roczen. He's a beast, man. He came back from almost losing his arm. He almost got his arm amputated. He had an injury that was so bad, they almost were like, dude, we can't save your arm. We're cutting it off. And he was like, nope. He was like, nope, I am going to race again, dude. Fix my arm. And so multiple surgeries, long time off, lots of rehab. I don't even want to think about it. But for him to be back and winning races and racing at that level, it's insane. The guy is a beast, just like Cooper Webb. However, he seems to be having and struggling with some weird illnesses. The last couple of years, he hasn't been able to make it 100% through a season. For whatever reason, his fitness drops off, but it was really bad this last season. Let's take a look at this footage. All right, so this ended up being, I wouldn't say a full-on mud race, but it was definitely a little soupy, lots of big ruts. But the thing is, Ken Roczen is German. He's from Europe. Europeans, man, they tend to be great at riding in the wet and the mud. So this was not I'm uncomfortable with a super gnarly track, because he would have been totally comfortable with this normally. So the claim is that he's got some kind of respiratory issue, and he's having trouble breathing and getting oxygen. Which, again, guys, this is this year. This is post-COVID. COVID's a respiratory issue, respiratory virus. I'll let you know what my conspiracy theory is here after we watch this footage. Check this out.
Roczen, he's not gonna win the championship at this point. I just don't see it happening. As something happened to Eli Tomac, I think that the number one is just right around the corner and is in just as good a position to take second.
Guys, this is Eli Tomac, Cooper Webb, lapping Ken Roczen. They lapped him. That was not them. That was not Ken Roczen in the lead and Cooper Webb and Eli Tomac passing him for the lead. They just lapped him. That should never happen unless there's something drastically wrong with the dude. This is Jason Anderson coming up the inside. Probably also lapping. I think Jason Anderson finished third in this race, but let's keep watching.
For the championship as well. So it's a shame.
Gave Ken Roczen the boot right there.
I didn't know that Ken was facing these difficulties.
All right, so now they're getting ready to
he's gonna
lap
have
him
a
again. So
long
Eli
four races
Tomac
left,
on the
unfortunately.
green
I
number
hate to see
3
that
has passed Cooper
because
Webb.
he's been
Cooper Webb's
fighting so
fighting.
hard all season
Check
long
out
and
Cooper
it's
Webb
been
hit the
difficult.
triple from the inside like
Roczen,
that.
he's
That was pretty gnarly. The point is they lapped Ken Roczen twice. That should just never happen. I don't know what was wrong with him there. Again, the story was some kind of respiratory issue. So here's my conspiracy theory. I think that he had COVID and they let him race anyway because he was battling for the championship. He was in the points hunt and he was battling. And I think the respiratory issues got to be too much. And for those of you who don't know, those guys are running at 170, 180 beats per minute, most of them. It is Supercross and motocross, very cardiovascular intensive. So if you can't breathe, you can't get oxygen, you're done. I've never seen Ken Roczen drop off like that unless there was a bike problem or an injury. So for whatever respiratory issues he had, they had to be really, really bad. So you can't count out Ken Roczen because he's that damn good. But I just don't know. I don't know what to expect. You know, is he over all of his illnesses and ailnesses? And I don't know. We'll see. Only time will tell. But I think essentially Ken Roczen's gonna win some races. He'll be on the podium. He'll be fast. I don't see him lasting through the whole series. But who knows? Next up, the 2018 Supercross champion, Jason Anderson, the New Mexican Thug. That's what my wife calls him. El Hombre is what the industry knows him as, but in my house, we just call him the New Mexican Thug. I like Jason Anderson, and I think it was 2018. He won the title. He won the Supercross championship. In 2019, he came into the series late with a preseason injury. I don't remember what happened. I don't remember what he hurt. Could have been a leg, an arm, shoulder. I don't know. But he came into the season late. And let me tell you what, it's pretty hard to come off of the couch with an injury and get back to that championship winning edge that he had. So we'll see what happens in 2020. I think that 2018 being a couple years behind him, he's over the injury, he's over having won the championship, and I think he wants more. I think he's going to come into the series prepared and hungry. I think he's still training with Alden Baker. For those of you that don't know, Alden Baker is a championship machine creator. Hardly anybody comes out of Alden Baker's training program and not win a championship. There's very few. Ken Roczen is one of them. It is what it is. But I think Jason Anderson's going to be fast. He's going to be on the podium. I think he'll win a couple races. I just don't see anybody beating Tomac except Tomac. Now that Tomac's gotten over whatever mental ailment he's had the last few years, he knows he's the man. He knows that he's just magically fast. I don't know. To me, it looks like an uphill battle for everybody. Everybody lined up at the gate except maybe Cooper Webb. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right. Those are the guys. Those 4 guys I expect to be battling for the championship back and forth. Now, there's a lot of other fast dudes out there. We've got some rookies. We've got some second-year riders. we've got some old wily vets. Marvin Musquin. I think he's going to be in the fight. It's a pretty deep field this year. I mean, if nobody else gets hurt coming into the season, these last couple of weeks, everybody just stop riding. Just stop riding. All you guys just stop. You're done. You got enough practice in. Most of you have been doing this for years. You don't need to ride your bikes anymore. I don't want to see any more riders get hurt. I want to see the fullest 450 field that we possibly can. We've already lost a pretty talented dude with Dylan Ferrandis breaking his hand. I was really excited to see how he would ride the 450, but it is what it is. So Marvin Musquin, he's getting pretty long in the tooth, man. He's had some injuries. He's had his share of injuries, and I think he'll be fast, as usual. He always is. I think he'll get some podiums, maybe a win or two. I don't see him winning the championship. I just think he's too long in the tooth at this point. I don't see a championship, a 450 Supercross championship in his future. Here goes, ever. I think he's got a few more seasons left in him. I think he's done. And I think the field's getting too deep. There's too many fast dudes, too many new guys that are just hungrier than everybody else, and they're willing to just risk more. Marvin's getting too old for that crap, man. All right. I think there's a lot of dudes out there that probably think this is the year. Bam Bam's going to do it. So this is the picture from this year, 2020. And Bam Bam, Justin Barcia, Eli Tomac arguing over some rough riding. And I think in this race, Eli Tomac got the best of Barcia. And here's Barcia trying to explain how I passed you clean, man. It was clean. Barcia doesn't know what a clean pass is. But that said, Barcia, last few years, he comes out swinging. I think he comes in as prepared as anybody. I think he's won the opener a couple of times these last couple of years. I think he's won the opener round 1, and he does good at round 2 and 3. But then things start to taper off. It's almost like as the rest of the competition is refining their setup and kind of evolving and finding their rhythm, Barcia stays the same. And I think everybody else kind of refines their setups, and everybody just starts getting in the groove. And then Barcia, he kind of falls back to 5th, 7th place. I expect the same. Why do the same thing over and over and expect a different result? Although this year he's coming in on the new red KTM, the gas. I still don't know how I feel about KTM fielding 3 different manufacturers on the grid. Right? You've got the KTMs, you got the Husqvarnas, and now the gas, which is really just a clone. Same engine, same chassis, same frames, suspension, same Brembo brakes. There are very few differences with the gas. I think KTM's plan is to make the gas a cheaper, more affordable version of the KTM. They've done a few things different with cases to help ease the cost of production. So the gas is going to come in almost $1,000 cheaper than the most expensive 450, which I think is probably the KTM. But it's going to be a cheaper alternative to the orange bike. Anyway, Barcia's riding that, so we'll see. Maybe the Austrian bike will I don't know. Maybe he'll find a groove there that gets him through the whole season at the top, but I don't think so. I'm not betting on it. All right. Who's next? Zach Osborne. So Zach Osborne won the outdoor championship this year on the 450. That's pretty badass. I think he's riding high in terms of confidence. He finished the Supercross series with stronger results than he has in previous years. Then winning the title, he's on an all-time high of confidence, and I think he'll do well. I think some podiums are in his future. I don't know why that picture was so damn big, but we're shrinking it down a little bit. At any rate, I don't see him contending for the championship, but I could be totally wrong. I think he's a good pick for a dark horse to win the championship. I think he's coming in just full of confidence. He's a talented rider, and if he finds just a little bit more consistency with the speed, he'll be up there battling with Cooper Webb and Eli Tomac. I think he's a decent starter. That's always a good attribute to have. But he's more of a dark horse for me than anything else. All right. I don't know what to do about Adam Cincerillo. Dude is crazy talented. Good starter. Fast laps. I think he qualified number one more than once this season. But eventually he makes a bonehead mistake somewhere along the line. It's kind of like Tomac in 2017, 18, and 19. His lows, they're just super low. And his highs are super high. I expect him to lead lots of laps, get some hole shots, be on the podium a few times, win some races, one or two, not a lot. But I also expect him to kind of do the same thing, make some mistakes, and have some really bad nights. So I don't see him keeping it together for the championship. He's gonna lose too many points on his bad nights. That's just the way I see it, guys. I like him. He's fast. He's good. But he just makes too many mistakes to win a championship. All right, so I'm going to drop the bomb on you guys. This is my dark horse pick for the championship. And this is a big if. Chase Sexton. You know who this guy reminds me of? Reminds me of Kevin Windham. Anybody out there remember Kevin Windham? He's a little bit taller than his competition. He looks silky smooth on the Honda. Super impressed with this kid. He's won the 250 Supercross championship the last 2 years. He moved up to the 450 for the outdoors, and here he's at Glen Helen Raceway testing the 450 Honda. So he raced Supercross in 2020 on the 250, won the championship. Then when Supercross ends, they go to motocross. He moved up to the 450 for motocross, did really well. He won motos. I think he got the overall at the last round. That's super impressive. Now, huge, big, tall order for any rookie to win the 450 title. I don't know that it's ever been done. Maybe Jeremy McGrath, but he's like the king of Supercross. He won 7 Supercross championships. And I think even Jeremy McGrath had a little bit of help. And I'm not even sure if he did. I should have looked that up before the show. But if there's going to be a rookie to move up into the 450 and win Supercross championship, I think Chase Sexton is my bet. Now, do I think that's really going to happen? Nah, not really. I think he'll do better than Adam Cincerillo. Chase Sexton's also a good starter, consistent starter. It's fast, silky smooth. He doesn't make those emotional decisions that end up, putting you on the ground like an Austin Faulkner, man. That kid's super, super fast, really good starter. He's got all the elements you want, but he won't win the title because he'll make a dumb mistake at some point. He'll make an emotional decision, get into a fisticuffs battle with somebody, bang bars, that kind of stuff, and that never ends well, especially when you're the guy that has the target on your back. So those are my picks, guys. If you're new to Supercross, if you're not a fanatic like I am, I've been watching it fiercely for decades. If you are not of that kind of fanatic with Supercross, go check out last week's stream because I kind of break down and give you guys like a beginner's guide to Supercross. It can be very confusing. God bless the promoters' hearts. They try real hard to do new things and grow the sport, get a little bit more mainstream audience in there. But it seems like the KISS principle, keep it stupid simple, escapes them every time. I think personally, motocross, motocross a little bit, but Supercross, hard to follow if you are not a fanatic. If you're just a casual fan, observer, you watch it on TV, you go to the race when it comes to your town. It's confusing. The race formats are confusing, and then the Triple Crown thing they did the last few years, even more confusing just when you think you understood it. Anyway, I break it down. I try and break it down and make it stupid simple for you guys. For those of you that are fanatics like myself, you know what I'm talking about. So that will conclude this week's live stream. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Maybe there's somebody I didn't think of, but I think that's how the season's going to shake down personally. I think Tomac's going to be hard to beat. I definitely think he's got the edge for a repeat. So if you haven't already, I'd appreciate it if you subscribe. Give me the big thumbs up. I could use those. I could use more thumbs up. I don't have enough thumbs up. Heck, if you don't like this, you can give it a thumbs down. I'm not particular. I mean, I just want some thumbs. Thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever. It's all good. But, yeah. Till next week, keep the rubber side down, and we'll see you in the next live stream. Not sure what we're going to talk about, but I'll figure something out. All right, guys. Have a good one. Bye.